So we're here at Crypto Fest, and I'm standing here with Eli from Solana, who just got off stage and, well, touched on some really interesting points that we just want to elaborate a little bit on just now. So, Eli, while on stage, you mentioned something that I haven't heard before, where you stated about earn your first crypto, don't buy it. So, why do you believe that this philosophy is so important about driving mass adoption within Africa, and how does Solana, make earning your first crypto more accessible to everyday people?
It's a really cool question, and our thinking is, when you buy crypto, there's a lot of different emotions behind buying it versus, wow, I just earned money, right? So you feel a very different type of way. And it's really more about the feeling that we're trying to create and remove a lot of stigma. So a lot of people have this predefined or idea of, oh my God, I'm buying crypto to trade it, or is it going to go up? Like, I get so many questions where it's like, so is this the bottom? And it's like, I wish it was the bottom, to be honest. But when you're earning it, you treat that money very differently. And it's like I mentioned, it's a bit of a shitty word to use, but it's like a gateway drug into that ecosystem, right? The moment you earn your first bit of money, it's like, as an entrepreneur, the day your startup makes its first bit of revenue, like that's a magical moment. And if we can give that same feeling to hundreds of people, then it sells itself. You don't have to do much selling after that, because now they're going to want more. They're like, whoa, I just made $1,000 from my computer on the beach of Clifton. What a crazy thing to think about, right? And I didn't have to follow any guru trader to do that, and I think that's the most important part to it. And every bounty on our Earn platform, most of them are permissionless. So they're actually put up by independent companies within our ecosystem, right? So these are like billion-dollar protocols or startups or anything like that. And they start at $500 to $5,000, the permissionless ones. And you get really big ones, right? You get like a $50,000 bounty. And this is like all funded within this ecosystem to really give people opportunity to earn, right? And also just uplift themselves, upskill themselves. And that's also another interesting thing about earning it, kind of on the back foot, is it's also a really interesting way to filter out the quality, right, of people participating in your ecosystem. Because now, we have over 400 job positions available in the Solana ecosystem right now, right, that are looking to hire people. The problem is you need to find the talent. So you use the Earn platform as like a really cool way to find this early talent as well and filter out the really shitty guys as well. You know what I mean?
That's absolutely fantastic and such a great initiative. And I mean, building onto that, you also mentioned superteam and within Solana and so forth. And well, I'm almost sure most of the people watching here today have never even heard of the concept of a superteam. So, can you explain in extremely simple terms to us what a superteam is and how everyone in Africa can get involved?
So, superteam is a network of the most talented people across 17 countries. Each super team has a cap of 150 members that can come into it. And a really cool way to think about it is, hence the word super, we want every single person in there to be at the top of their game, right? At the top of their industry, at the top of their game. So the top 1% of the top 1% of talent in South Africa, those are the people that we want in that community. Because what tends to happen then is, if we're hosting, as an example, a mixer, and the CEO, just like figuratively stuff, right? And the CEO of Luno and the CEO of all these amazing companies are there. Surely you, who's a builder, would be like, oh my God, I need to figure out how the hell to get into that, right? I want to go to that dinner. That's a really easy way of thinking about what Superteam is. And we do that in 17 countries, like I mentioned. The approach is quite an interesting one, but the core product is that we're just selling you community with incredible distribution, right? So the value of becoming a member is, like I said earlier, right? It's the most EV plus place to be in all of crypto. Beyond the whole statement of make your first crypto, super teams earn airdrops from the ecosystem as distribution. We help you launch your startup globally. We help you get venture funding, right? Because we have Solana Ventures that deals with all the different VCs in the ecosystem. So it's almost like it really is a superpower. It's this magical superpower that if you're an entrepreneur and you want to do big things in life, it's the best place in South Africa or any country that we're active in to be a part of, specifically in the blockchain space.
Absolutely fantastic. Eli, to wrap things up, Solana has been leaning heavily into, I would say, grassroots in Africa and, community-driven initiatives. I mean, even up on the stage, you mentioned that you guys are doing all this for free. It's kind of like an MPO. You don't charge for a lot of the services that you offer. You can get people plugged into various avenues or, put them in front of the right people, and all of this comes at no charge. So, how does this approach, in your opinion, differ from any other traditional model that we've seen before? And why do you think it resonates with Africa and African developers and entrepreneurs so much?
It's a hard question. I'll do my best here, bro. I would say it's a couple things, but a big draw card is talent, right? Like if you have the most talented people in a country, like you almost become a product of your environment. So you can bring in these postgrad students and really elevate them, upskill them. But any country, irrespective of it being in South Africa or the African continent, anyone wants to, whoever wants to build a company, they want the greatest chance of success. And our main goal is to be that place where you do have the best chance of success. And the way we go about that is capitalizing each super team sufficiently to be able to do that, but also each lead, right? So soft chill, right? But like from my side, previous exit founder, like built a bunch of startups on Solana, generated hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue. And, you have to have the accolades to do it. It's not just, hey, you can now be a lead and just be a trader. So every person that's a part of this has really like earned their badges in the battles, like in the trenches, of blockchain. And that's really, really important because we treat it as its own business, right? You're like the CEO of this company and you need to now make this work. And you treat it as a startup. So every super team is like almost a startup, right? So we're pretty much building a startup here. And our goals are very clear, right? Create the most GDP, which is community GDP. I want our community members to earn the most amount of money out of every country. And the way they earn is through bounties, grants, and getting hired, right? So we'll get you hired in the ecosystem, just so long as you're talented and you show promise, right? And that's like the secret sauce, is that the people behind the super teams is really what makes it super powerful, because you can like tap into a network of evangelists that all have a shared identity. And what that actually means is we're all on the same page, bro. We've all got the same brief, trying to do the same shit. And if you come to me like, hey, dude, I want to launch this product in the UK, well, here you go. You literally can. Where else can you get that for free? Nowhere else in my opinion.
Nowhere else, absolutely. Eli, thank you so much. I think during this conversation, you gave us so much to think about. What I am going to do is in the description, I am going to put a link to his profile as well. So feel free to get in touch. Whether you are that exceptional talent that can form part of this ecosystem, or if you are looking for exceptional talent, get in touch with Eli and let's take it to the next level. Thank you so much.